From the Blue Beetle movie, we have the Carapax action figure, which is now on clearance for $11.99 from previous retail price of $39.99. This action figure comes with an extra pair of hands, which are open or palm or relaxed hands, and some of those handsets are going to the accessories bin because I don't have use for them. Possibly in the future, but I prefer fists on this action figure. This figure also comes with a display base or stand, which for a figure like this, I just wish that Mcfarlane would up the scale of action figure stands for bigger scale figures like this. So this figure stands around the 8.5-inch mark, just at the top of its head. So let's do a quick 360 view of this action figure. For size comparison and playability factor, we have Lieutenant Carapax with a Warhammer action figure. Armored superhero versus armored supervillain. This is how these two scale with each other. Hulkbuster versus Lieutenant Carapax. These two action figures play well with each other because of the scale. So, we have Hulk and Lieutenant Carapax. Aside from the Blue Beetle, we have armored version of Superman and armored version of Batman. Okay, so let us take a closer look at the details and articulation points of the action figure. So, up close and personal, that is how the head unit or the helmet unit is going to look like. And even if it is actually when at a distance you would see just yellow and orange, but up close and personal you could still see indentation for the eyes of the action figure. So, ample left and right movement for the head, and because of how that helmet is constructed or designed, there's going to be limits with regards to tilts. So, you have to somehow angle it a certain way so pieces are not going to rub against each other. So, it's not just on the head, it's actually all over. Okay, but as for articulation points, this figure has a lot of articulation points. You just have to find the sweet spot when you pose this action figure. So T-poses are possible. We have rotation on the ball of the shoulder. We have ample articulation on the elbow, even if it is a single point. Well, of course, the hand is just going to be on a rotation. Even if we have a swivel that's present, that is not going to work because of how the hand is encased in that forearm armor. So this area is made of soft rubbery plastic to give way to articulation points on the waistline. So articulation point number 1, articulation point number 2, which is standard for Mcfarlane action figures. Okay, so on the back, these two are fixed. No articulation points on these two towers of armor. And once again, without my hand over the back of the action figure. So that is the details on the back of the action figure. Okay, so for leg articulation point, well, as I mentioned earlier, you have to find the sweet spot when you do leg raises like this, because this part is going to rub against the armored briefs. We have enough rotation on the thigh, 2 points or pinned articulation on the knee, And how does it bend? So nice bend on that. Well, of course, we're going to have armor to armor contact. So we have a hinge for the foot, a swivel for the foot, and toe articulation. So total, this figure is really a nice articulating action figure. So you just have to find areas wherein armor pieces are not going to rub against each other, but playability, it is there. So this is really for $11 a steal. The lack of extra handsets or accessory gripping handsets is not a concern for me. So with the lack of extra accessories and weapons on this action figure, because I still have a lot of accessories and weapons in my parts bin that I could mix and match on this action figure later on. Depends on how I would want to imagine this action figure with weapons or extra ammunition. And that is something, well, of course, for $11 I could not complain. But if you're going to purchase this at regular price of $39.99, so out of the door, that's about $42 or $43 or $44, then that is going to really be a concern for you with regards to what you get out of the standard MSRP purchase. But for $11.99, which I waited for this action figure to go to that price level, clearance price level, then I'm really satisfied with this purchase. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.